Admiral Zexathara watched the blue-green marble suspended in the void, her mandibles clicking with satisfaction. The third planet from this unremarkable yellow star had been surprisingly troublesome for such a primitive world. But now, with her fleet of 300 warships positioned in perfect formation around Earth, the endgame had finally arrived. "Signal the humans," she commanded, her voice carrying the authority of the hegemony's most decorated military leader. "Inform them that their pathetic resistance is over." The communications officer, a nervous plick with trembling tentacles, activated the planetary broadcast system. Within moments, every screen, radio, and communication device on Earth would receive their message. "Humans of Earth," Zexathara's words echoed across 7 billion minds. "You have fought bravely but uselessly. Your ships lie in ruins. Your orbital platforms are destroyed. Your moon bases are nothing but craters. We offer you one final mercy. Surrender unconditionally and we will allow your species to exist as laborers in our empire. Refuse and we will glass your world. You have 72 hours to decide." The Admiral settled back into her command throne, confident in the outcome. Every species faced this moment, the crushing realization that resistance was futile. Most begged. Some tried one last desperate gambit. All eventually broke, but as the hours passed, something unprecedented began to happen. Deep beneath the Himalayas, President Chen Wei stood in the Global Defense Command bunker, surrounded by leaders from every nation on Earth. The room hummed with activity as generals, scientists and engineers worked with an intensity that defied their desperate situation. "Ma'am," General Rodriguez called out, "Project Prometheus is showing green across all parameters." Chen nodded grimly. Prometheus, humanity's most classified project born from the desperate innovation of a species with its back against the wall. While the aliens had been systematically destroying Earth's space-based defenses over the past 6 months, humanity had been digging deeper, building something the hegemony couldn't detect, couldn't understand, and couldn't stop. "Status report," Chen demanded. Dr. Sarah Mackenzie, the project's lead scientist, looked up from her console. "All 7 installations are synchronized. The quantum resonance chambers are fully charged. We're harnessing the planet's core rotation itself. Every earthquake zone, every tectonic fault line, every volcanic vent has been converted into an energy collection point." "And the delivery system?" asked President Okafor via secure link from the African installation. "Operational," replied Colonel Park from the Seoul facility. "We've turned Earth's magnetic field into the largest railgun ever conceived. Every satellite we've lost, every piece of orbital debris, every fragment of our destroyed fleet, we've been secretly tagging with quantum beacons." Chen felt a fierce pride swell in her chest. While Zexathara had been expecting humanity to cower, they had been weaponizing their own planet. Aboard the flagship, Tactical Officer Vorth noticed an anomaly. "Admiral, I'm detecting unusual seismic activity across the human world. Massive energy buildups along their tectonic boundaries." Zexathara's eyes narrowed. "Clarify. It appears they're channeling their planet's geological energy into some kind of unified system. The readings are off our scales." A chill ran down the Admiral's spine. In her 3 centuries of conquest, she had never seen anything like this. Species built weapons, yes, but they didn't turn their entire world into one. Shields to maximum. All ships' defensive positions, but it was already too late. The first indication was the lights. Every aurora on Earth blazed simultaneously as the planet's magnetic field pulsed with artificial energy. From space, Earth appeared to be surrounded by dancing curtains of impossible colors. Then came the launch. 7 simultaneous pulses erupted from the planet's surface. Not missiles, not ships, but pure converted geological energy, focused through Earth's magnetosphere. The energy struck every piece of quantum-tagged debris in orbit. And suddenly the field around Earth became a storm of projectiles moving at 30% the speed of light. Zexathara watched in horror as her fleet, spread across thousands of kilometers, was simultaneously bombarded by millions of hypervelocity fragments. Ships that had conquered dozens of worlds died in seconds, their shields overwhelmed by the sheer impossibility of the attack. "Impossible," she whispered as her own flagship shuddered under the assault. "How did they coordinate?" Her question was answered as Earth's communication networks lit up. Every human voice speaking in unison through hastily connected radio networks delivered the same message. "This is Earth. You wanted to see what humanity does when cornered? We don't beg, we don't surrender. We turn our entire world into a weapon and remind the universe why evolution gave us forward-facing eyes. We are not prey, we are predators, and you just threatened our cubs. The bombardment lasted 17 minutes. When it ended, fewer than 30 ships remained from Zexthera's once mighty fleet, and those were already retreating at maximum velocity. In the depths of the command bunker, President Chen allowed herself a moment of savage satisfaction as reports flooded in from around the globe. 7 billion humans had worked in perfect coordination. Every mining operation, every geothermal plant, every piece of industrial infrastructure temporarily converted to serve a single purpose. Ma'am, Dr. Mackenzie reported, energy reserves are depleted, but Project Prometheus proved successful beyond all projections, and the quantum tagging system means we can track their retreat vectors. Good, Chen replied, her voice carrying the iron determination that had seen humanity through its darkest hour. Begin Phase 2. If the hegemony wants a war, we'll give them one they'll never forget. She turned to address the Global Council. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just announced to the galaxy that Earth is not a victim. We're a weapon, and we're about to teach the universe what happens when you pick a fight with a species that conquered its own world before it ever left it. The holographic displays showed the retreating alien ships, fleeing toward the edges of the solar system, but they also showed something else, the beginnings of Earth's next impossible project. As mining ships launched toward the asteroid belt and construction began on platforms that would make the hegemony's worst nightmares seem quaint. Humanity had sent a message to the stars. They had underestimated Earth not because humans were weak, but because they couldn't comprehend the strength that came from an entire species, willing to turn their world into a fortress. The war was just beginning and Earth was ready,